Hey guys, welcome to today's live stream. Happy Monday, everyone. How's everyone doing? I'm already laughing at the chat. Must we look at her cleavage? Well, hey, she's standing there. She's happy because she got Chris to be able to float in the air. She gave him the love potion, and Chris is like, "Oh, Nicole, I'm so in love." And so that's why she's happy. She's celebrating. She's like, "Oh, Chris. It's working. It's working." And so, yeah. So, hey, if Chris had to see it, I guess we all do too. It's part of the story. It's part of the story. That is my explanation for it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. I am so happy to see you all. Yeah, we're going to continue watching the Behind Criminal Minds video. We started it yesterday. We left off right where Nicole is starting to write something on the piece of paper. And she's like, "Oh, Daddy, help me." Looking over at Dwayne, and Dwayne is like, "Excuse me, sir. You can't ask those questions." As if he is some type of lawyer or something. He's not, okay? He's not at all. Not even close. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into it. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it a regular speed. I don't like to fast forward these videos because I don't know. The creator spent a lot of time putting it together, and so I want to just give them the time. I read through a lot of comments. They're like, "Oh, can you speed it up so that we can get through it in one live stream?" Mm, no. No, no, I can't. Yeah, like I said, I want to capture everything that they say, and then yeah, be able to like pause it and talk to you guys about it, and be able to get all of our thoughts and theories out there. So yeah, we are gonna finish it today though. So yeah, don't fret, don't fret. And we don't really have to finish it all in one. We can split it up throughout the week. Why not? The more the merrier. Anyway, all right, guys. Yeah, let's go ahead and dive into it. We are in this spot here. Remember, she's about to sign and then look over at Daddy. Daddy, is this okay? Yeah, should I sign on the dotted line here? What does this say? Did you bring your magnifying glass? No? Oh, okay then. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it.
Nicole has no reason to be scared unless she was involved,
Yeah,
either in
exactly.
knowing what Chris did after the fact or in now being what is alleged by Chris himself that she orchestrated the events the morning of the 13th.
Okay, notice how she gave away her phone. Even that is so telling, the way that she gives away her phone. She's like, "Ugh, do you really need my phone though?" All right, here, I guess. And then she's like not really letting go, right? The detective's like, "Okay, you can let go now." She's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure I can? I don't know. I think I have crazy glue on my hands. Help me, somebody. Hazel? Hazel, where's Hazel?" Everything that she does is so weird, isn't it? Should we see this again? Let's go ahead and see this again. Let's go ahead and just see this again because, again, it's everything that she does. It's just strange.
And told him to choose either her or Shanann. Chris claims that Nicole knew exactly what he
Look.
was going to do and she
Oh,
encouraged it.
did I miss
Now,
it?
of
Oh,
course, we can
oops.
all have to be scared of. No
Sorry.
reasonable person would hear these two contradictory statements and think to themselves that these are the words of someone who did not know exactly what happened the morning of August 13th.
Of course
Nicole
not.
has no reason
Actually
to be
thinks that. Look,
scared
she's getting her phone out.
unless she was involved, either in
Are you
knowing
sure?
what Chris did after the
Here, let me
fact
delete all the
or
messages
in
first.
now being what is alleged by
Look.
Chris himself
Look.
that she orchestrated the events the morning of the
My
13th.
phone.
And to be clear, Chris now claims that Nicole
Did you see that? She's like, ugh, God. Let me just delete everything real quick. Delete, delete, delete. Did I take out the SIM card? Yeah, I did. Okay, here you go. You gotta reach it. You gotta reach for it. Hey, come on. Who does that? Come on, just take it out of her hand. Yeah, they have to prize it out of her hand. Like, come on, lady. She should play hot potato with it. See who catches it. See if Kevin is like, "Oh, I got it." Hot potato with Chris's head. Imagine. Let's continue.
Nichol gave him an ultimatum and told him to choose either her or Shanann. Chris claims that Nichol knew exactly what he was going to do and she encouraged it. Now, of
Yeah.
course, we can all agree that Chris Watts has absolutely no credibility at all. But again, Occam's razor.
Yeah.
Nichol is
Occam's
behaving
razor.
in a way that is consistent with someone who has something to hide. And every single day that has passed since this interview is a stain on the Weld County DA and his credibility as a representative of law enforcement,
Yep.
because they now know that Nichol lied repeatedly, that she broke the law every time she lied, and they never bothered to ask the most important questions surrounding those lies. Why?
We want to give you everything, but we also want to be protected in doing so.
What? Dwayne, sir. We want to help you, but we also want to protect ourselves. Again, why does anybody need protection if you're innocent? Why would you need to protect yourself if there's nothing in that phone that is incriminating? Again, I do understand that we have rights and we have rights to protect ourselves against self-incrimination. I totally get it. However, if that's what she wanted to do, she should have brought her lawyer. Bring in a lawyer, not your daddy. Guy's not he's not a defense attorney, or is he? And if he is, I 100% I commend her for bringing in daddy lawyer. But the thing is that daddy lawyer is not a lawyer. He's just daddy. So again, I don't know what he's doing there. The whole thing is just so strange. So weird. And then the things that he says too, let's speed it up. Let's get this expedited. Let's get it finished as soon as possible. Why? Why? If we want the truth, we don't want to speed it up. It does the complete opposite. Yeah, Chris has two brain cells that rub together. Yeah, two. Just two brain cells, and they're both competing for third place constantly. They're both are fighting in the little brain, going back and forth in the skull. You know how like when you watch, you know how like when you're watching the screen of your computer, the little thing goes in the corner and hits ding, ding, ding. It's just so satisfying when you see the two brain cells barely miss each other and then just go shoo. Yeah, that's definitely something that I'm gonna add to my next video. I'll show it to you guys. I see it in my head. You guys can't see it, but I see it. I see it. You'll see it when I animate it for you guys. But anyway, let's continue.
What we just heard makes no sense. A witness who has no criminal culpability in a crime has no reason to be protected from any prosecution. When Dwayne Kessinger says the words, "We want to give you everything, but we want to be protected," that alone is incredibly suspect.
Yeah.
And if I had been in the room, I would immediately have pulled the agents aside and asked them, why are these supposed witnesses acting like guilty suspects?
Yes. How is that not the first question that you ask? Oh, that's weird. Hold on. Wait, what? You want to help us with this quadruple homicide of 3 children and a pregnant woman? And you don't want to self-incriminate? That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. Again, of course, right? Self-incrimination is one thing. The other thing, though, is if you're guilty, this is how you're going to behave. That's all I'm saying. Tiger, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, my goodness. What is going on here? Protected, right? Is that what she got? Did she get I always want to say PDA. I have dyslexia. It's not PDA. I mean, her and Chris Watts were definitely doing some PDA. Kevin was probably trying to get in on it. Hey, Nichol, I hear you're single. Would you like some PDA? No, you don't get DPA. No, you don't get Deferred Prosecution Agreement. PDA, as in, you wanna make out? Gross. But yeah, is that what happened? Did she get DPA, Deferred Prosecution Agreement? Is that what happened? She got immunity? We don't know. Let's continue.
Because it sounds like they want immunity for whatever she's hiding from us.
You got to figure it out. And so that was his budget. And I remember asking him, I was like, you sure you don't want to just get like a house? And he's like, I never thought about a house. I'm like, yeah, you can rent houses, man. Like,
You sure you don't want to just get a house? You can just rent them, man. She says it a lot, doesn't she? Just pawn it, man. Let's go hiking, man. Let's play Twister, man. You lost, man. Yeah, she's doing the same thing here. Like, why don't you just get a house? I mean, she's also telling him that he needs to save money, right? She's telling him, hey, you need to save because you're going to get a divorce. And then supposedly she's helping him find apartments. But then at the same time, she's like, no, don't get an apartment. Ugh, that is so cheap. Why don't you just get a house? Yeah, get a house, 3 garages, right? Three car garage so that I can bring my car. You can bring your little fast one, whatever you want to bring, your Fiat or your Mustang. And yeah, we have 3,000 acres. How does that sound? Come on. How is she going to say that she's trying to help him with his finances and she's the realtor and she's also the financial advisor and then at the same time tells him, "Go get a house." You know that you can get a house, right? Get a house, man. Come on. Come on. What is this? Yeah. Adriana House. I just read that. House. House. Oh my goodness. Oh God. It's everything that she does is so obviously she's lying. It's so blatantly obvious. So let's continue.
it's a thing. And he's just like, I don't know if I can afford that. And I was like, okay. And I knew that those two had been through some financial trouble. I definitely found out a lot more about that situation in the newspaper recently.
I definitely found out more about the information in the newspaper recently. The newspaper. Have you read about it? Yeah, the newspaper. It was out back in like the 70s. God, what is going on here? She does the whole scratching of the ear, the eyeball, the scratching of the ear. She'll do weirdness all the time. The up, the down inflections, right? The and the whispers. All of these are tells. This is another one right here. She went up, I think, and then she lowered it, and then she touches her ear. And the other thing too is that she's crossing, right? She's not doing this. She's crossing the arm. So she's like even becoming even more awkward. Like, who scratches like that? Unless you're a cat. I see my cats scratching all the time in front of me. Mr. B will just sit there with his leg up and his butthole straight to my face, and he's like, but this is not normal behavior. This is a human. Why is she scratching herself like that? But anyway, that's just my opinion again. Just my opinion. All right, let's continue.
Okay, so prior to the newspaper, how did you know he was in financial difficulty?
Because when I went to that house, everything in there is very, 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 very nice. It looks like
Very, 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 very nice. Okay, so she said 4 varies. Everything in there is very, 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 very nice. What is the point of saying very, 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 very nice? She is emphasizing how nice that house is. I guess she was shocked to see how beautiful it was. She was shocked to see that Shanann had all those things and she didn't, is really what it sounds like to me, right? Again, I've said it in all of my other videos before. All of this entire interview sounds like Nichol Kessinger was just 100% envious the whole time. Envious, jealous. She wanted the lifestyle that Shanann had with Chris. She wanted that life for herself, which is why, in my opinion, I think that when she came in and saw the house, she was like, "Oh my God, you live here, and I live in that little rat-infested apartment back where we play the Twister." I mean, of course, her apartments were actually very, very nice. Very, 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 very nice. But nothing in comparison to, that big house that she walked into. I think that is where she was doing the comparison. She's like, okay, I have a really nice apartment. It's like super tiny though. It's like barely 700 square feet. You live in this big house? Oh my God, it's so nice. But you guys let me know what you think. Yeah, KTD, she screams jealousy. Exactly. Very, 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 very jealous, in my opinion. She used filler words and as she goes, yeah, repeats it and gives her time to think her lies. Exactly. What does Veroscope say? Buying cognitive time. That's what she's doing. She's buying cognitive time. And at the same time, I do think it's just jealousy. Let's continue.
Like it all comes with a very expensive price tag.
Over the last several minutes, Nichol has been droning on about Chris and his desire to sell his house and ultimately to move out on his own.
Yeah.
The central problem with her entire line of discussion surrounding Chris and his finances is that she also claims that they've only been dating for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Somehow, in a span of just 45 days, Nichol knows the inner workings of Chris's finances,
Yeah.
the cost of his home, and that's not all. Keep listening.
And
His 401k, his social security number. She knows his birth certificate, state licensing date. She knows who signed off on his birth certificate. She knows everything about him. How is it possible that after 45 days? I mean, it is very possible that these two just became so obsessed with one another. But my goodness, for someone who claims that, oh, I didn't really like him, I just liked him sometimes, just in passing, he was way more into me than I was into him. For someone to be saying that and then know this much information, it's obvious. Bullshit. Obvious. It's so fake. Yeah, of course. Yeah, she does. Yeah, she makes it her mission. She makes it her mission to lie, to deflect, and to put blame on everybody else. Oh, it was Chris. I didn't know anything. Don't look at me. I was just the mistress. Come on. Let's continue.
I didn't say anything to him about it, but I could kind of tell then where I was like just looking at everything like, how do you guys afford this? And then he has that car.
Wow.
I don't even know how much that car costs, but I bet it's
What car is
that
it?
Lexus.
Wow.
I'm sure that thing costs like 80 grand, but just like money. Like everything just looked like it costs a lot of money in that.
It's just like money. Everything looks like it costs a lot of money. How much is that car? I don't know. Probably like 80K. Who cares? Why? Why does she care so much about the car that Shanann was driving other than, again, envy? Envy, jealousy. Why does she care? And if she knows that Chris Watts got promoted, right? He got promoted from rover to field coordinator, and she's wondering how much he makes. She says that she doesn't know how much Shanann makes. Again, why is she asking these questions? Why does it matter to her? Ugh. Unless, right? Unless she actually knew or had an idea of how much Shanann made. And of course, I do believe that that's what happened. She knew exactly how much money, or not exactly, but ballpark an idea of how much Shanann made because she was stalking her Facebook. She was always on her Facebook checking what Shanann was doing, what she was selling, her patches, where she was traveling to, and that is what she was following the entire time. And so of course she's going to be asking, "Oh, where's that Lexus from? Did Shanann get that through Lavelle or did you buy that for her?" Those are the kinds of questions that she really wants to know. But she's not, in my opinion, I don't think that she was trying to ask Chris directly. She wanted to get the answers from him to see what he would say, but she already knew the answer because she was already stalking Facebook. You guys let me know what you think. That is just my opinion. It's just so weird. It's so weird for a mistress to say that, "Oh, I'm not really that much into my boyfriend and I don't really stalk him that much," and then know so much about him and be so obsessed with him. It just does not track. Never in the history of mistresses have we ever seen a mistress who is actively working towards her boyfriend's marriage. "Hey, boyfriend, I know that I'm your mistress and I know that I'm just second fiddle. But my purpose here is to get you to get back with your wife." Come on. The thing with Nichol is that she makes herself the victim and the martyr, and that's the worst part of it all, I think. It's like if she was just acting the victim, okay, like gross. But the second thing is that she's also acting like the martyr. Like, I had told him to stay with his family, but he just didn't listen. Like, come on. It's just so ridiculous. Fatal attraction vibes, yes. If it should be detectable how much she was on Shanann's Facebook page. Yeah, and then not to know Shanann was pregnant. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, and I'm sure it was possible to see how often she was on Shanann's page, but again, it wasn't looked into. It was not looked into, and that's why we're here. Let's continue.
that house.
You probably have a decent idea of how much money he makes.
Yeah, and it's not enough money to pay for all that. Not
Wow.
even close.
Did you have any idea of what Shanann did for a living or how much money she might have made?
I mean, I had an idea. I would consider her like a sales rep. I don't know how else to describe that.
I mean, I have an idea. Notice that, right? Notice this little part. Kevin asked her the question that we were just talking about, right? Do you have an idea? I mean, I guess. I would consider her like a salesperson. I mean, what is it? I don't know. Yeah, notice she went all over the place. She didn't answer the question with just, yeah, like I think I have an idea. She goes everywhere. She's all over the place. Her range is like a roller coaster. Oh my goodness. Let's continue.
Um, for the company that she worked for, and I don't know exactly how much she made. He said that she was really competitive and she liked to try to keep up with it.
See, this here, the thing that she's doing again, not saying that this is universal, but I think for Nichol Kessinger and her baseline, this is weird, right? She's like, I don't know. Something about patches. Yeah. I think that this is her comforting herself because she just lied. She knows. She knows. How does she not know? I mean, come on, right? She's on her Facebook. She has an idea. And on top of that, Chris is telling her. Chris tells her all of the things that Shanann does and all of the trips that they take. So again, she's lying right here. Look at what she's doing. Again, just my opinion, but let's continue.
He's like, she gets close sometimes. So I don't know how much those two brought in. I mean, off the top of my head, if I could guess, probably somewhere around like $140K a year.
If this was the only
Wow.
interview you had ever seen surrounding this case and you knew nothing else about Chris Watts, the crime itself, or anything else that transpired, it would be so easy to listen to the last 2 minutes and think to yourself, sure, I can understand how they could be having this conversation about Chris's marriage and the inner workings of his problematic finances, but again, we are not experiencing this interview in a vacuum. We know that it's only been 3 days since
Yeah.
Chris annihilated his family for Nichol.
Here, notice Dwayne with his hands. During our Nichol Kessinger series, the very first series of this channel, we focused a lot on Dwayne and his little hand signals. He always does little signals and he's like doing things with his fingers. He is scratching his knee. He's looking over at Nichol the whole time. He's signaling to her. Let's continue.
And here she is airing out Chris's marriage and speaking poorly of Shanann.
Yeah.
And yet it doesn't even come close to just how low Nichol is about to go and the depths of what she's willing to say about a mother whose life was just stolen 72 hours earlier.
Yeah, I
So-
didn't know that.
Let's go
Okay.
just back to him and the financial. He tells you, he has a concern enough to at least express something to you that he's frustrated with the way she spends, or he's upset with working so hard and never having any money, and she's kind of she's the responsible party for
Yeah.
spending most of the money.
Come on.
I pretty much got that vibe. I mean, he just told me, he's like, we're house broke all the time. I was just
I pretty much got that vibe. He just told me we're house broke all the time. And then she tells him, go get a house, Chris. You know that you can get a house. Okay. Yeah, Chris is saying a lot of things, right? A lot of things. Oh no. Oh, did I miss a few? Oh my gosh, I did. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Imagine 916. Speaking of cars, she sold hers 2 days after the murders. Yes. Yeah, she did. She did. And again, why? Why would she sell her Forerunner? It's really weird. There's also neighbor Betty who saw a car parked by the Watts residence on the day of the murders. And again, what's up with that? So, yeah, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much, Imagine. And then we got another one. Where is it? Where is it? Julia. Julia, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate the super chat. Sorry guys, if I do miss them, I'll go back to the at the end and go through them. But yeah, this whole thing, everything she says is it's contradicting. She can't get her lies straight. Let's continue.
It's like, that's unfortunate. And I asked him, I was like, do you have 401k? And he was like, yeah. And I mean, the reason I ask him this is because if I get into a relationship with somebody, I want to know, like, what kind of baggage that they have. I think that's important if I walk into a situation where I'm like, hey, I have good credit and I have all these things that I've been building and you don't have your stuff together, like, what are we going to do with this? And it's important for your long-term
You're smart.
thing. So I'm preparing.
Oh my god. Kevin, shut your face. You're smart. Come on. She's God, the thing that really bothers me about this whole thing is that she just said that she asked him about the 401k and then explains herself why she asked. And Kevin doesn't even think about any of that. He doesn't challenge her. He's not like, "Hey, I never asked you why are you telling me about the 401k?" But again, Nichol Kessinger is telling Kevin that she knows about the 401k. And the only reason she asked is because Kevin, when I get into relationships with a man, I just need to make sure that they got their stuff together. Yeah. But then she also says, I wasn't really even that into him. No, that's why I didn't even tell my friends because I was just kind of dating him, but not really. I wasn't even trying to move in with him. And then at the same time, she says, no, I did. I wanted to be in a relationship with him so badly that I even asked about his 401k. I want to know if I'm going to be okay when he retires. Again, how much sense does that make? You can't say, oh, I'm doing this because I just want to know what the relationship is going to be like, and then turn around and say, actually, the relationship wasn't even that serious. Which is it? Nicole. And again, where's Kevin? Is he asleep? Is Kevin asleep? Does he have the little slice of pizza on his hand, right? Like he's got the pizza and he's just like, or whatever he does, flipping his pen around, gets stuck in his eyeball. What is he doing? He's not challenging her at all, ever. Money matters to her, but family doesn't. Yeah, McRuly, 100%. Yeah, the money matters. Who else does she sound like? Yeah, the Watts family. Very into the material things while saying, I'm so humble. We're just humble, normal people. Let's continue.
Listen, I understand that law enforcement officers building rapport plays a very important and crucial role in any investigation, let alone a case of this magnitude. But it is so off-putting to hear Agent Kobach flirting with Nicole throughout so many of her interactions with him. It's not just out of place, it's incredibly unprofessional.
Yes. I'm so glad that he said flirting because we have all been saying that he's flirting. We've all said it. Every single one of us, I think. I've added so many funny little animations to Kevin because he's just such a simp for Nicole. And this is what he's doing here now. Again, you're smart. What in the world? No. Stop interrupting her. And this is the other thing that I just can't stand that Kevin does is he leads her on. He's like leading her. He asked her yes or no questions instead of open-ended questions. He cuts her off when she's rambling. It's like everything that he did just made it worse for the investigation. It's like he was really looking out for her instead of trying to get to the truth. It's so incredibly annoying. I just can't stand it. Crime deep dive. Thank you so much. Here, let's go ahead and like this. Thank you so much. Rox, when you next do a video, please dress NK as where's Wally? Yes. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I do get a lot of ideas from you guys, and I do get a lot of requests. People are like, "Oh my God, can you put eyeballs on this guy? Can you put a spinning eyeball on her?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." Someone asked me, "Can you put a mustache on him?" I'm like, "Sure, yeah, I'll put a mustache on him and on the potato." Hey, I take requests, okay? I take them all the time. All right, let's continue.
You can build rapport with someone and not act in such a way that blurs the line between your professional conduct as a law enforcement officer and the role you play as an agent of justice,
Mhm.
especially in light of what is about to come out of Nicole's mouth almost immediately after this.
Like I said, the only financial thing he ever said is just like, she just likes to spend money, like a lot of it. So that was just kind of the vibe that I got from that.
Like a
And
lot of
it
it.
was just, it was a lifestyle that she liked to live, like very, like materialistic kind of lifestyle.
Wanted to
Like it was,
project a certain image.
yes, all the time.
All the time. Yes. All the time. Even the way that she said it, it's like she was trying to hold back because she's like, I don't want to say it in a disrespectful way, Kevin, but she just like spent money all the time. Oh, what a shame. I mean, she was trying to say this the whole time. She was just trying to figure out a way to say it without sounding like an absolute a hole. That's what she was doing. Same with Chris, right? We know that Chris was trying to push plan A, as in, oh, I don't know, maybe she just vanished. Maybe somebody took her. Maybe she left through the back. He's just trying to push that idea in there, but he doesn't want to push it too much to sound suspicious, right? He's just kind of alluding to it. And this is what Nicole Kessinger is doing here. She's like, he said something about being what's the word? Materialistic. She was dying to say that. Let's continue.
And he said that that was why they got that house too. It's like she wants everybody to think that we live a certain way and that we can like sustain all this stuff. And he's like, and we can't. And I told him, I said, when you're in those situations, why don't you? I'm like, do you like voice your concern about this?
Oh, God.
And he told me, he's like, when I try to talk to her, he's like, she's really bossy and she usually shuts me out. And he's like, when she does that, he's like, I just let it go. And I'm just like, all right. I mean, I don't try to like interfere with how those two interact.
Oh my
But I did
God.
ask about it because I'm just curious, because I would never put myself in a situation where someone was like, you know what, we're going to live in this house that costs like double what we can afford, and that's how it's going to be, because I want everybody to think we're fancy. Because I wouldn't do that. I mean, to me,
I want to do that because I want to do that. She says, I would never force my partner to sleep or be in this house because I just wouldn't do that. Again, really? Did we not just hear her say, Chris, you know you can get a house? Get a house, right? You know you can get one, man. Chris was talking about getting an apartment and she's the one trying to put him in a house. Yet she's here saying, I would never do that to anybody. I would never, just to be fancy. No, no, not me. And again, she's doing the same thing where she's talking about the victim. She's giving her supposed information, what she knows about the relationship, what she knows about Chris, but at the same time she's also bashing Shanann, right? She's throwing her under the bus. She's like, you know what, I would never do that. So in a way she's blaming the victim indirectly in front of the investigators, and how none of them thought that was weird, beyond me. Why? All of them are just sitting there and they're like, "Oh, oh, that sounds super plausible." Meanwhile, it's only the dad. Look at Dwayne. Dwayne is like, "Nicole, eyes over here, Nicole. Can you see me? Don't say that." He's the only one that has figured out that she's doing too much. She's being extra at this point. What do you guys think? Oh man, if her answers were a tennis match, yeah, we'd all have whiplash. Exactly. Exactly, Sally. Thank you so much for that comment. It's so accurate. Kevin saw her, yeah. Kevin saw her in the brown bikini pics and was like, I think brown is my favorite color too." How? How? Brown? I still think it's so weird that she chose brown. Again, whatever. To each their own. If she liked it, if it was on sale, if it was at Walmart, whatever. It's just kind of strange. Whatever. Brown for a bikini. Whatever. Okay. Let's move on from the bikini, even though we're never gonna move on from it. But let's see what else. What else? She's so fake. 100%. Oh my goodness. Weird. She's wearing one, maybe two long sleeve shirts. She is? Oh, I didn't even notice that. Hmm. Colorado in August, yeah. I mean, Colorado in June. I mean, I'm already dying here. It's so hot. I had a flame almost, right? I almost had the flame going on in my head yesterday, just like Chris Watts. So again, yeah, it's so weird that she's wearing a long sleeve black shirt on top of it, right? It's absorbing all of the heat. And she's sitting there like, I would never do that. Let's continue.
Me, like, I wouldn't put up with somebody doing that to me.
I wouldn't put up with someone doing that to me. You know, Nicole, after all of the horrible things you just said about the victim in this case, it sure sounds like the words you just spoke are the very definition of motive.
Yeah.
Because here you are telling Agent Kobach, a perfect stranger, the annals of how horrible a person Shanann was in her marriage,
Yep.
in her financial responsibilities.
Yep.
And yet that won't even begin to scratch the surface of the truly despicable things you would go on to say about Shanann just 2 weeks later when you submitted this timeline of events to law enforcement.
Oh, that ridiculous.
And let's be clear, Nicole conducted over half a dozen interviews with law enforcement wherein she would be asked in great detail to explain her knowledge of Chris's life, his marriage, anything and everything she knew about him. They wanted to know what could have motivated him to do what he did.
And the thing that really stood out to me here is, yeah, that is a motive, but it also does sound like that is what Nichol Kessinger would tell Chris, right? She made it sound like, oh, Chris is telling me about all of these things, right? He's airing his grievances with me. And then she says, I would never allow anyone to do that to me. Which, again, to me, that sounds like that is something that she told Chris. To me, it sounds like they were having a conversation about finances, and Nicole was like, oh my God, Christopher, she's making you live in a house that is so expensive that you can't afford. Oh my God, I would never allow anyone to do that to me. I think that this is how it started. It started with Chris saying shit, right? He's just airing his grievances because he's such a coward and he's such a petty little POS. So he's just like, oh my God, my life sucks. Everything about it is just so horrific. I have to do laundry. Can you imagine? Nicole, I have to do laundry and I'm a man. I'm suffering. Oh my God, my life. I'm being oppressed. And then Nicole's like, oh my God, your wife has you doing laundry? I would never do that to you, Christopher. I will do your laundry. Oh, so pathetic. So pathetic. And the reason I say this is because I do believe this. I do, because Chris Watts complained constantly about the things that he did. Every time that he talks about the things that he did for his children, it sounded like a complaint. They sounded all like chores. It didn't really sound like something that he wanted to do. Like he took initiative to do the laundry because he wanted to make sure that his kids were wearing clean clothes. No, he was doing it because Shanann made him do it, not because he wanted his kids to be clean. All of it, right? All of it. He was just being forced. He was being forced to be a grown man. God. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Hurt Locker. Thank you. Potato Head Chris. I love the emojis. I love them. When we do a merch drop, I think, I have these ideas for merch and definitely Hurt Locker. Those emojis are gonna go on there for sure. So anybody that watches Rabbit Hole Rocks will see those emojis and know exactly, right? It's an inside joke. It's an inside joke. I love it. I love that we have a little inside joke here. Many, actually, many inside jokes. It blows my mind how NK makes out that she's such a perfect little princess. Yeah, woman, you stole a man from his family and made him steal his family from the world. Exactly. How's she a perfect princess when she's like, I will never come second to anybody, Chris. Come on. Anyway, let's continue.
And yet, in every single telephonic and in person interview, Nichol provides details that are arguably surface level information when compared to the encyclopedia that was this submitted timeline.
We read this ridiculous statement from Nichol Kessinger. All of them are like, bossy. Shanann was bossy. He told me she was bossy. I also thought she was bossy. The whole thing is so absolutely absurd. And then she does it in bullet points too, which is the worst part of it all. I think it's just so insulting. She didn't even take the time to actually write full paragraphs. She put them in bullet points as if she's giving some type of PowerPoint presentation. Lady, come on. ChatGPT didn't exist then, I bet she would have put all of it into ChatGPT. Hi, Chat. I'm trying to get out of this accomplice situation that I'm in. Write me a full paragraph saying that I'm innocent. And this is the shit that ChatGPT would have spit out. My God. What do you guys think? Brown bikini shirt, no thanks. I want an RHR baseball cap. Yes, yes. So do I. So do I. You'll see it. I'll eventually end up I mean, I don't want to replace this one. It's one of my favorite hats, I will say. But I wish I could make this hat with the actual emojis, but I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. But we'll figure something out. We'll figure something out. But yeah, anyway, let's continue.
And in said timeline, she takes the opportunity to implicate Shanann in an embezzlement
His buddy
scheme from a
Mark. Look at this. Chris Watts tells me that he had a conversation with his buddy Mark, who lives in San Diego. Says Mark informed him that many years ago he believes that Shanann was responsible for a large amount of money that was embezzled from a company that Shanann and Mark both worked at for a time, but that the company was never able to prove it. She is regurgitating the same garbage that Cindy was saying about Shanann. Ugh.
past employer. She remembers Chris's exact mortgage payment. She knows so many minute details about his life that it almost makes you wonder why embezzlement scheme from a past
And see that
employer.
again.
She remembers Chris's
Yeah. Yeah, look at this. We went through it in great detail. Look at this. Chris Watts said that his mortgage was $2,800 a month and that he was tired of being house broke. I asked why it was so expensive. I asked why it was so expensive. Well, Nicole, it was a 600,000 square foot house with multiple bathrooms, multiple bedrooms in Frederick, Colorado. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty expensive. In fact, I believe 2,800 for a house that big. It's actually not that all that expensive. It was probably yeah, I mean, 2,800 in 2018 for a house that big. Compared to the prices now and comparing that to the housing market now in 2026, this is actually doable. Very, very doable compared to how shitty everything is currently. Chris Watts says that about 500 or 2,800 was homeowners insurance. Again, yeah, so there's a lot going on here, right? If 2,800 was a lot of money, definitely if they were not able to afford it. And we can go down that, we can, start saying how they spent money that they shouldn't have. Sure, whatever. But, the thing is, that was not the motive for these murders. The motive was that well, Chris Watts wanted out of the relationship because he met a mistress. So whether or not he was drowning in debt, he was perfectly okay with it until he met his mistress. So again, um anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and continue. But yeah, 500, and then homeowners insurance was 2,800. Look at how she even knows. She even split it up. She's like, yeah, homeowners insurance was this much, the mortgage was this much went into escrow, and then last year they paid this much in property tax, but this year it's going to go up because Frederick checked all of the locations. And I mean, she goes down the entire information. It's like she's Google or something. Oh my God. Anyway, let's continue.
Exact mortgage payment. She knows so many minute details about his life that it almost makes you wonder, why didn't Nichol bother to say any of this during her numerous in-person and telephonic interviews? While we can't be sure, the only thing that makes any sense to me at all is that by the time that Nichol submitted her timeline with countless facts that she had never previously disclosed, she must have known that she was protected,
Yeah,
and that she
of
no
course she was.
longer needed to pretend to be clueless or to be a jilted mistress that barely knew Chris at all.
So in those
Come
6 years,
on.
though,
It's so true. Shelly, she got her spreadsheet out. Yeah. Hold on, Kevin. I'll answer that question. Hold on. Let me just get out my tablet. What was your question? Okay, yeah. Yeah, so his mortgage was 2,800, and then the total escrow went up by $400 because the homeowner's insurance went up. Yeah. I think it's like a fire prone area, not so sure. But anyway, what else do you want to know? Does this lady work for H&R Block? She wears a lot of hats, this woman, I will say. She works in offices, oil rigs. She is an expert at Twister with 3 people, sometimes 4. I mean, she knows everything. Let's continue.
they had 2 children.
Yep.
And you said earlier you did not know she was pregnant until reading the newspaper.
Yep.
So that never came up in any conversation. There was no indications that was going on.
None.
He never hinted to anything like that.
Nothing.
As far as you knew, he was just leaving her. He had 2 children, and that was the final take on that.
Yes.
The question
No. Never. Nothing. No. That's how she answers. That's how she answers when Kevin is asking her yes or no questions yet again. Yet again. Asking her yes or no questions, which makes Nichol answer questions like the way she does. Yeah. No. Never. That gets us nowhere.
that Agent Kobach is asking Nichol may seem innocuous at first glance, but if you notice, he's providing the answer in the question itself. Nichol, you didn't know Shanann was pregnant until you read it in the newspaper, right? Her pregnancy never came up in any conversation, and there were no indications that Chris was going to do this.
God, he's so stupid. Kevin is so stupid. I do think that this guy is actually just a really bad agent. I think he's just dumb. I don't know. It all seems so weird. Why would you ask such a stupid question? Oh, so you didn't know she was pregnant until you read it on the newspaper, right? Mm-hmm. Why is he asking these questions, and why is he asking them like this? Oh my God. I think that he was too afraid of Daddy Dwayne. I don't know. What do we think? Stop leading. Yeah, she's so vile, kids today. Oh my goodness. What do we think about this? Keep answering for her, Kevin. Yeah, exactly. That's all he's doing. He's giving her the answer.
And he never hinted at it at all. Right, Nichol? Agent Kobach is asking a leading question that has only one answer. Because of the way it's asked, if Nichol says no, it directly implies her guilt. A competent, law enforcement officer would have approached these questions very differently.
Yeah.
Allow me to demonstrate.
Yeah.
Nicole, when was the first time you became aware of Shanann's pregnancy? What, if anything, did you and Chris discuss about that pregnancy? Do you see how vastly different those questions are? It shouldn't matter if she's a cooperating witness or the primary suspect. The point of an investigation is to obtain the truth, even if that truth ends up implicating one of your witnesses.
Yep.
When your focus from the onset of any investigation becomes the conviction of one singular person and not the pursuit of justice, then this is the kind of shoddy investigatory work you can expect to see. And it's now evident that from the onset, they weren't even considering that the person sitting in front of them might have something to hide. And as far as I'm concerned, Agent Kobach and DA Rourke both share the responsibility for that abject failure.
Yes. Yes. The example that he gave was perfect. It was crystal clear, right? We can see the difference. I'm like, it's oh my goodness. It's crystal clear. The difference is obvious. You didn't know, right, Nicole? No. And then the other question is, when did you first find out that she was pregnant? That would have sent her down a little rambling session. It would have had her do all kinds of ridiculous things, right? Her tells. But no. The questions he's asking are so basic for her to be able to say yes or no. I mean, come on. You would have to be really, really stupid to answer no to one of the questions that is supposed to be yes. God, it's just... What? It's a rookie thing to do. He's such an amateur.
I know why he lied to me. He lied to me because if I'd have known that he had a child on the way, I'd have never wasted my time with him in the first place. Like, none of this would ever even occur if he would have just told me the truth.
So do you think if he found out that you, if, let's say this week you guys were to go look at some apartments, and this is hypothetical, but you...
There we go. Yeah, she's already doing the... The back of her neck started itching just out of the blue, right? Out of the blue. But then she scratches like this. That's not even a scratch. What is she doing? Look at that. It sounds like she's going, hello? I can't hear you. Fake. So fake. Look at this.
You've never found out that his wife was pregnant. Would that have changed anything? Like you just said, if I knew his wife was pregnant, I wouldn't be in this picture. So if his wife was not pregnant, and forgive me, but if he takes her out of the picture, you're never going to know.
Forgive me. Oh, why are they treating her like this? Kevin he's afraid. He's walking on eggshells with her. Forgive me. I don't mean to ask you these questions that are just, they're just bad, aren't they? Forgive me that I'm asking you these questions, but I have to ask you. Hello, this is a murder investigation. Why is he talking to her like this? Forgive me? Forgive me for what? You're trying to get to the bottom of the truth here. You're trying to get justice for 4 innocent victims. And he is apologizing to the witness, right? The witness. She was a suspect, in my opinion, but they're like, I'm so sorry that I have to ask you these questions. I know you'd rather be at Starbucks right now, but I just have to ask you these questions. It's like, I don't know. It's like they're sorry that she's spending her time there, that she has better things to do. So sorry that we're wasting your time. What in the world?
That she was pregnant, right?
What do you mean takes her out of the picture? Like,
if he murdered her, she's out of the picture. You're never going to know if she was pregnant. If he can get away with murder, you're not going to... I got divorced from my wife. You say, do you understand what I'm saying here?
This was the only time that Agent Kobach ever seriously attempted to do his job in this interview. This officer of the law has just been presented with clear, irrefutable evidence that Nichol would not have been with Chris if she knew that Shanann was pregnant. Unfortunately for Nichol, we now know that Nichol did know that Shanann was pregnant because of her Google searches, specifically for Shanann's public Facebook account.
Yeah. And we have so many of these. Karen, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, how much do we all wish that Tammy Lee interviewed her instead? I think we all do. We all do. But yeah, look at this. She Googled for Watts and Shanann's Facebook accounts. She lied the whole time, and none of this was obstruction of justice. It's just so hard to believe.
And here she is saying that she wouldn't be with Chris as long as he's with a pregnant Shanann. And for the very first and last time, Agent Kobach attempts to get Nichol to understand the enormity of what she's just admitted to. She's just given the foundation of what a good defense lawyer would call motive. Remember, in a jury trial, all a defense lawyer would need to possibly downgrade the charges to something less severe would be to insert reasonable doubt into the jury.
Yep.
They could have easily argued that Nichol gave Chris an ultimatum by saying, your wife is pregnant and that's a problem. Chris, it's either me or it's her.
Yep.
Agent Kobach has just presented Nichol with a question that he should have insisted on and answered to. And this is where we see just how truly broken this investigation was from the onset.
If she's gone,
But this,
Don't lead,
hypothetically,
please.
yeah,
Don't lead on.
hypothetically, if she,
Okay.
you understand where I'm going? If
Right,
you
but you're-
didn't know,
You're leading into
Right.
questions that are nothing with your,
if you didn't know though,
wait, Nick,
that she was there,
did you hear what I said?
I'm following you. I just want her to answer a question that relates to, she said something that's important.
This outburst by Dwayne Kessinger has and will always be the most definitive proof of law enforcement's failure in this case.
Yes. Yeah. Why is a civilian telling CBI, law enforcement, how to do their job? And why is law enforcement allowing himself to be told by a civilian how to do his job? Stand up for yourself, Kevin. If this is your first week on the job, stand up for your job. It's so weird that he allowed this random guy, because that's exactly what Dwayne was, a random guy, telling him, hey, you can't be asking that. And then Kevin's like, no, I understand. I know. Hold on. Let me just explain why I have to ask this question. Here, I have my job description here. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, here it is. If you want, you can read my job description. Yeah, you'll see there that it's my job to ask these questions, right, Balls? Balls, where are you, Balls? Yeah, right. I can ask this. Guy, you are CBI. Stand up for yourself. Come on. Oh, God. I can't. Watching this, it's so infuriating because I just can't stand Kevin.
Daddy Kessinger had no business being in that room in the first place, let alone interrupting a law enforcement officer asking the right questions to a woman who should have been a suspect and not their star witness. Dwayne Kessinger wasn't a lawyer. He had no legal cause to be in that room in the first place. Nichol was and still is, as far as I'm aware, an adult with the legal capacity to answer her own questions. Why they allowed
100%.
him to control the questioning in that room is something I will go to my grave being unable to comprehend. But to his credit, Agent Kobach is finally asking the right questions.
Barely.
Unfortunately for the investigation, he's doing a terrible job communicating that question.
Yeah.
But he wants Nichol to understand that telling Chris that she wouldn't be with him if Shanann was pregnant could have been his motivation for what he ultimately did. And you can plainly see Nichole's defeat in this moment. It's almost as though you can see when she realizes she might not be able to lie her way out of this. And it's almost as though you can see the moment when she realizes that she might be forced to admit that she could have been the catalyst for all of this. But just before that happens, Daddy steps in and stops it all. Until now, I have never said these words. And to be clear, this is simply my opinion and what I've observed after years of studying this case. I genuinely believe that Dwayne Kessinger knew that his daughter Nichol was likely involved in this crime in some way, shape, or form, and he was there to run interference for her. He knew of Nichole's past criminal record. He knew of her issues with addiction. He knew of her mental health history. He should have never been allowed in that room. And
look at him rubbing his knee.
If the DA of Weld County truly wants us to believe that he has evidence that somehow exonerates Nichol Kessinger, then he is going to have to provide it to the public. Collated, bound, and in triplicate. Because I simply do not believe him.
And then,
okay, I've always wondered how much Dwayne actually knew about Nichol. And when Nichol talks about how she called her daddy and was like, "Hey, daddy, we need to do damage control. I'm in trouble." I've always wondered, right? And just knowing what we know about Nichol and the way that she carries herself and her character, I picture the conversation going something like this, right? So again, this is just my opinion. This is just kind of like a recreation in my own brain. I don't think that Nichol Kessinger told her dad exactly everything that she was involved with or involved in. I don't think that she actually did that. What I think happened is I think Nichol told her dad that she was dating this guy. The guy ended up disappearing his family, and Nichol went up to her dad and told him that she was afraid that she would be implicated because of how much she wanted to be with him. I think that a part of it, she did tell her dad that she pressured him, but that she didn't mean for him to kill his family. I think that that is just part of what Nichol actually told her dad. Again, I don't think that she told him everything regarding the plans or anything else that she was involved in, but I do think that she said the bare minimum. I think that she was probably telling him that she was really into him and that she kept telling him and pushing him to leave his family, to get divorced, and that because of that, Chris then decided to take it into his own hands and annihilate his family. And so because of that, she wanted help from Dwayne, and Dwayne was trying his very best to get his daughter out of incriminating herself in that way. That is what I think. And so I think that Dwayne knew very little, and that's the bit that he knew, is that even if she pressured him, that is enough for some type of charge. And so that is what he was doing here. Again, just my opinion. Just my opinion, but what do you guys think? I am gonna send out a poll here. I'm gonna put up a poll for you guys because this is a question that comes up a lot regarding Dwayne Kessinger. A lot of people think that he had, I don't know, some type of higher position in law enforcement, that he's part of the Freemasons, that he's some type of, high-end, political influencer. I don't know, all of these other things. But I want to see what you guys think, because it is something that I've always wondered. Like, how much did Nichol tell his dad or her dad, and how much did Dwayne know about Nichol Kessinger's involvement? So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and put up a poll. But yeah, let's continue.
We went back to my house for a little bit, hung out at my house for a little while, and then he had to leave, and then he left.
Do you recall what time he left?
Off the top of my head, no. I remember he was like gonna be late to be back at 10. I think there's a text message where he starts texting me when he's home at his house.
Okay.
So you can probably figure that out. And I remember I texted him back and I was like, damn, that was quick. Or wow, that was really quick. He's like, yeah, I even had time to stop at the ATM or stop at the gas station, stop somewhere to get money to pay the babysitter.
Okay.
And I was just like thinking like, well, that was really fast. But I think he was still like a little late coming back, but nothing too drastic. So he probably left my house like somewhere around 9:30ish.
All right. And you go straight home. He texts you.
Well, I was already home.
Right. No, he texts you. He goes straight home from your house, and he texts you that he's home.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be in your text message.
It should be. I'm pretty positive that was not a phone call. I'm almost positive that was a text. Sometimes I get them flip-flop, or I don't remember, but
That's
sometimes I know. I'm pretty sure that one was a text.
What we just heard was Nichol discussing the night of August the 11th, 2018, when she and Chris went to the Lazy Dog restaurant for dinner. Chris had set up a lie with Shanann and his friends that he was going to a Rockies game, when in fact, he was going out to dinner and a spicy nightcap with Nichol. Now, she claims that she and Chris had a discussion about how he quickly got home after he left her house that evening. And this is just one of many unresolved, unanswered questions that never got asked concerning the statements that Nichol made. Because there are no text messages or phone calls that happened immediately after Chris got home that say any of what she claims to have discussed with Chris.
Exactly.
Had there been one single competent person looking at the evidence and comparing it to what Nichol said, they would have realized that she's already told them no less than a few dozen lies.
Yeah.
And these are not small lies either. She claims to have had conversations that there are no records of. She claims to be saying things to Chris in writing that she can't provide. And yet no one is asking why. A few weeks ago,
Yes. All of the things that she's saying that she did or told him and advised him about, they're all in writing that are completely disappeared. She deleted all of the text messages. So she keeps referring back to the evidence that no longer exists. I mean, how does that work? How does that work? Yeah, you can look up the evidence. Yeah, it's in all the evidence that I deleted. Oh, it's deleted. My bad. Well, I guess you'll never know then, but it's in there. If you get access to it, you'll see that I was telling you the truth. I guess now you just have to believe my word. Oh my God. And again, no one asked her. No one asked her anything. Anything. The only person that was actually doing more there than the police was Dwayne, Daddy Dwayne. Daddy Dwayne acted way more like an official of the law than Kevin. Kevin just acted like a schoolboy with a crush. Oh, I saw pictures of you in a brown bikini. Here, I'm gonna give you a little note. Do you want to go out with me? Yes. No. Maybe so. Here you go, Nikki. Please. I have a huge crush on you. Nicole's like, nah, no, I don't like you. I only like them with the little bald spots right in the temple, but not all the way in the back. No, thank you. Chris is like waxing the back of his head, if you've seen that episode. I don't even know what episodes. I add so many animations to all of my videos that I'm like, which one was it where I added that one to? The eyeballs are on all of the episodes except for the early ones, but yeah. All right, where are we with the poll? Let's see. We have 41 votes in. 39% say that they think that Nichol told her dad that she pressured Chris Watts, that she's fully innocent. Oh, wow. I mean, hey, I think that's believable too. Yeah, I'm fully innocent, Daddy. I did not do anything wrong. I'm a little angel. See, the reason I think it's the first one, it's because he knows. Dwayne knows that Nichol is crazy. She has a past. She has a mugshot. She allegedly, I don't even know if it's allegedly or if it's a fact, she stabbed someone in the back. She has been violent in the past. So he knows what his daughter is all up to. And so even if Nichol said, yeah, Daddy, I'm 100% innocent, Is it believable? I don't think so. I think he's like, I don't know. I think a part of it might be a lie. So even if she did tell him that she was 100% innocent, he might have not believed it fully. And that's why he was there. So that's another, yeah, I think that's another option. I should have added that one in there. That, yeah, I mean, Nicole could have lied to her dad all she wants, but I think the dad can see right through her. I mean, he knows. It's his daughter. Anyway, let's continue.
So, Netflix released a documentary called The Crash. It features the story surrounding the conviction of Mackenzie Shirilla and the car accident that she caused that ended the lives of her boyfriend Dominic and his close friend Davian.
Yep.
Unfortunately, this documentary omitted critical details about Mackenzie's behavior leading up to the crash. But even worse than the omissions was that it appeared that the documentary seemed to try and paint Mackenzie Shirilla in a more sympathetic light.
Yeah.
The Crash is a fantastic example of how a case can go wrong when someone's lies are not challenged, when they are allowed to tell stories that are provably untrue.
I will say that the reason I think that the Netflix documentary shed a better light on Sharilla was so that they can get her to participate in the documentary and her parents. If I think that if they had been more harsh on her, they would not have participated. And they needed her participation because her participating was even more telling than the entire documentary itself. I mean, we can look at the evidence, but Mackenzie sitting there and saying, looking at her lawyer, is that okay that I said that? Yeah. Should I be a little more, should I look a little more sympathetic? Should I cry? Okay. All of those things were a lot more telling than I think the entire documentary. Not that I've watched it. I don't even have Netflix. They are my competitor apparently. But yeah, I think that that is the reason that it was done. It was so that more people can come forward and be able to participate in the documentary without feeling like they were being too harsh on them. But let's continue.
And then go on to convince others that maybe they aren't the perpetrator, but actually the victim. And I believe that's exactly what happened with Nichol Kessinger. But I want you to pay very close attention to the next few minutes. Nichol is about to be asked about what she and Chris discussed the night of the 11th of August during the time they were out together at dinner. And I want to apologize in advance. But the following is her answer to that question.
Saturday, during your dinner, what kind of conversation did you guys have?
Saturday during the dinner. Do we know what dinner they're talking about here? Let me just show you guys a quick sneak peek of what they're talking about, because yeah, this is just never before seen footage of them at the Lazy Dog. Yeah, there it is. You guys know it already. Let's go ahead and see that again. Yeah, you see that? Yeah. Nicole's like, get rid of your family, Chris. And Chris is like, how many macros should I eat today? I'm trying to gain 5 inches around my bicep. Should I eat more chicken? That's what he's doing. Yeah, that's what they're talking about right now. And of course, oh my God, that hurt my head. I'm like, oh. Woo. Doing that just hurt my head. My eyeball. Okay. But yeah, that's what they're talking about. Let's go ahead and listen to what nonsense she says.
So he's been trying to like eat a little healthier than he normally does, and he's always like been into working out since I knew him, and he like tries to eat clean, but
I like that he puts the little note at the bottom, nonsense answer in 3, 2, 1. And then it says, Nicole. Yeah. Agent Kobach wants information relevant to the case. To the case. And then she goes, well. Oh, wait. I'm not even showing you guys. She's like, well, the thing is, He was trying to watch his macros. Yeah, let's go ahead and see this again. Let's go ahead and see this again. I I realize you guys are looking at my face and not the screen. All right, let's go ahead.
Your dinner, what kind of conversation did you guys have?
I don't even remember. So he's been trying to like eat a little healthier than he normally does, and he's always like been in the working out since.
Yeah. And he's always been into working out. Sounds like madam. Yeah. Nicole, Agent Kobach wants information relevant to the case. Relevant to the case, Nicole. And here she's talking about the macros yet again. She goes into the macros. Yeah, if she stands someone, that is a reason to investigate her further. Exactly. It's gone quiet. Yeah, I know. Yeah, because you guys were looking just at my face, and I'm like, yeah, do you see her? She's doing this. Yeah, I was just describing what was happening on the screen. All right, let's continue.
Since I knew him, and he like tries to eat clean, but he was trying to like step it up a little bit, and nothing like the people who.
Literally, no one cares about Chris's diet, Nicole. No one cares. He was trying to eat clean, and his biceps measured a little bit under what I prefer. So I was trying to feed him a little more. I mean, he's already a little short. So I asked him, would you be interested in getting your legs extended just a tad bit for me? Imagine. Chris would have done it. I bet. Chris would have done it. Okay. Yeah, sign me up. How tall do you want me to be? God. Let's continue.
Do like the competitions and the shows that are all super restrictive, and it was nothing like that. It's just like day-to-day general maintenance, but it's how I eat, and it's pretty healthy. And he's been losing a lot of weight. He lost, I want to say like 13 pounds in the time that we were hanging out. And honestly, when you start eating a little bit cleaner and you start working out a little bit harder the first couple months, especially for a man because they lose weight faster.
Oh. Is she still talking about his diet? Yes. Men lose weight so much faster, Kevin. Yeah, if you need advice, let me know. Hit me up. Yeah, you have my number already, don't you? I'm sure you do. Yeah, I think you can definitely afford to lose a few more pounds. Yeah, but let me know. Men definitely lose weight faster than me, a woman. She goes on and on and on and on about the macros and his weight and his diet. The question was not about that. It was about what happened during the Saturday dinner date. That is what they're asking, okay? That is what Kevin is asking. Let's go ahead and pull up our handy dandy calendar. All right, we haven't pulled it up yet in this entire live stream, so let's go ahead and pull it up. All right, let's go ahead and see this, right? Here we go, Saturday. We have the lazy dog. She does not want to talk about it. The weight loss journey ended on that same day. So right now she's talking about Chris Watts and his weight gain and his weight loss journey and all kinds of nonsense, right? It is also the same day that it ended because 4 days later, he ended up getting arrested. So yeah, look at what else is going on. She Googles Saratoga Trail. She Googles Twister, back end, 3 people, right? 3 players. And a lot of other things are happening. And she's not talking about it at all. At all. She's talking about nonsense, his weight, his diet, his macros, okay? And again, all Kevin wants to know is what happened at the Lazy Dog. Let's go ahead and see the Lazy Dog again. That is what he wants to know. What did you guys talk about? What was Chris wearing? What did his eyeballs look like? Maybe not that, but you know what I mean. Let's continue.
It's not something that's like that drastic to me, but it did stand out that it was like a little much. And so I was like, whoa, like maybe you're not eating enough macronutrients. So let me look at them. So he had been working on his MyFitnessPal app and like programming the whole stuff he eats. And I just started going through them, and I was like trying to figure out like where his ratios were. And we actually spent a lot of time doing that because he asked me to do it for him. Because I just was at the point where I was like, if his weight loss slows down in a few weeks, he'll be fine. And if it doesn't, then his macros are a lot. It's not like that big of a deal like in the workout community. It's like a very normal thing. But
any other outside concerns? Like,
It's funny to hear her when she's speaking fast. I mean, she sounds like a mouse or something. Yeah, she looks even more erratic when it's fast forwarded. But let's go ahead and see what it says. Agent Kobach attempts to find out why she's droning on about Chris's diet, wanting to know if maybe she had concerns that he was using illegal substances. Yeah. Who cares, Nicole? Who cares that he lost weight? Is he on drugs? Yeah. Is he like daddy? Is he like his daddy, Ronnie? Is that why he's losing weight so fast? What's going on? Is he on Ozempic? Like, what is it? Get to the point. I think that's what Kevin is trying to get at here because she's gone on for 3 minutes.
Potential drug use, alcohol use, any of that stuff that led you to go and lost the extreme amount of weight in such a short period of time.
No, and I wouldn't call it extreme. It was just like it was a lot. But I mean, when I first started working out, I dropped like 12 pounds in 2 weeks when I first started like hitting it hard with the diet. So the fact that he lost like that much weight, it wasn't, like I said, it was not a surprising amount. I just didn't want it to be like a sustained amount. But no, I didn't think anything weird of it just because of like how interknitted I am with the like workout community, and I know like this is possible. But it just
Oh my God. That part always gets me. It's because I'm just so intertwined with the fitness community. I mean, look at my biceps. Yeah, you want to feel them? No, you don't get to. You don't get to feel my biceps, Kevin, unless you let me go free. But yeah, that's what she's saying right now. She's intertwined with the fitness community, is what she calls herself. Oh, I'm part of a community. It's called fitness. Please, let's continue.
the thing that concerned me about it, I guess I wasn't even concerned with the thing that like kind of red lighted me, like, hey, this might be carrying on, is the fact that his macros were like pretty dialed in. Like I wrote them and he like didn't stay exactly on them, but his calorie intake was
His macros were pretty dialed in. His macros were dialed in. His macros were so dialed in, Nichol Kessinger says. Yeah, Kevin, I helped him. He has an app. I came over that one day, spent hours in the living room. He made chicken and carrots, and I helped him with his app. His macros are dialed in. Let's continue.
about where it needed to be. My experience anyways for like what he was trying to achieve. And so I don't know, he didn't seem to have a problem with it. He liked where he was at with all of that.
So that was your main conversation Saturday?
That was like a big chunk while we were there. Is like us actually going through. So it's like going through each item, like why are your ratios off?
Now, I apologize for making you listen to that, but you had to hear it in order to understand the context of what's happening right now. Agent Kobach has very plainly asked Nichol to elaborate on what she and Chris discussed the night of the 11th. For nearly 3 straight minutes, she drones on and on about his diet and how she was helping him track what he ate and when, and yet nothing she provided in her answer has anything whatsoever to do with the question she was asked.
Yeah.
These agents are trying to ascertain Chris's state of mind just hours before he committed this crime.
Crazy cat lady. Looks like she got kicked out of the community. That's funny. Yeah, she got kicked out. She got kicked out of a lot of communities. She got kicked out of the office. Remember, she really wanted to work in an office. Oh, Kevin, I've always worked at an oil rig. It's so hot. I've always wanted to work in an office with some AC. And then she ends up getting kicked out of there too. Hey, lady, no. Sorry, but we don't allow people who get men to just murder their families. Get out. Go to the oil rigs. Go to the oil rigs. And she's like, oh, darn it. Back to the oil rigs I go. All of her own doing again. This is all her own doing. She didn't have to get involved with Chris. She didn't have to stalk the family and try to become Shanann. She could have just minded her own business. Find another man, Nicole. There's so many. So many. Look around you. They're everywhere. Oh, my God. Let's continue.
Nichol could have said, we discussed his diet. We talked about buying oceanfront property in Arizona, or we even haggled over purchasing a warehouse full of Furbies. I mean, my
What?
goodness, we don't need all of the superfluous.
The Furbies. Do we remember the Furbies? I loved Furbies. They were so weird looking. I never had one, but I always thought they were so cute and also creepy. So I don't know. Let's continue.
Nonsense information. And yet the thing is, Nichol knows that. She knows exactly what her and Chris talked about
Yeah.
on the night of the 11th. And we know she knows what they discussed and when, because here she is 2 weeks later, providing us a literal dissertation about their entire relationship, including their discussion that night.
Yeah, let's look it up. All right, let's see what Nicole was supposedly talking about. And we've looked this up already, right? Okay, so in person is what she says. In person, I remember this is what she says. Chris Watts told me that he didn't have extra money for a deposit on an apartment. Okay, interesting. She's also telling him get a house. I told him that apartments nowadays were so expensive for rent that the damage deposits have to be fairly cheap because otherwise people can't afford move-in costs. Interesting. Very, very interesting. This is what they talked about, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Watts and Nichol Kessinger on the day of the lazy dog. Okay, so let's go ahead and watch it again so you can get a visual. As they're sitting there, and as Nicole is making that face, this is what they're talking about. He said that every time he got paid, he watched his bank account dwindle down. Said that he wished he had a way to prevent his disposable income from being spent. I mean, how is that even possible? I mean, come on. All right. So, Nicole is telling us that on Saturday, the 11th, during the Lazy Dog, they talked about moving out, getting apartments, moving in possibly together, which I do believe, of course. I mean, come on. If Chris is going to go move out and get his own apartment, are we to believe that Nicole Kessinger wasn't going to run behind him and move in together? I mean, come on. So, of course, I think that we can look at this and conclude that they talked about moving on. Moving on. Okay, let's go ahead and see the calendar. Look. So it was around this time here. Where is it? Where Nicole Kessinger and Chris Watts were actually supposed to go look at an apartment. Oh, it was on Thursday. So it's right here, right? It's right here. So it was during this week that Chris and Nicole were supposed to go out together to look at that apartment. Of course, it didn't happen because Chris got arrested. So interesting, right? That the entire plan fell through and they couldn't move in together. Let's continue.
She says they discussed Chris moving out into his own apartment. They talked about his paycheck dwindling down to nothing because of Shanann's reckless spending.
Yeah,
She even
again.
said that they discussed how he wished he had a way to prevent his disposable income from being flushed down the drain.
Please.
And all of that sure sounds like he had financial motivation.
Nicole, help me with my financial problems. I'm trying not to spend that much money. But also, you said you wanted the Dead Sea Scrolls, didn't you? Yeah, the museum has them, but they're sold out. Yeah, it's also 2 trillion, gazillion, bajillion dollars. I don't even think that exists. I don't have that kind of cash. How much sense does this make? How much? Oh, God. It's also hypocritical. Chris is complaining about not having money because he has a family, while at the same time wants to spend all of his money on Nicole Kessinger, showing her photos of these, cheap little necklaces and whatnot. Oh, Nicole, this reminds me of you. It's $200. Should I get it? While he's complaining that Shanann is spending all his money. Come on. Come on.
On top of the emotional motivation coming from his mistress to stop this spending from continuing.
Yeah.
And it sure is weird that Nicole didn't bother to tell anyone any of this information when she was asked directly about what they discussed on Saturday, the 11th of August. She goes on to elaborate on their discussion in
Sorry, I had to pause it here because I'm looking at the actual video, what's going on right now. The trio is laughing. This is the part where Dwayne says, "Yeah, this little one, when she was little, she used to talk all the time." And then Kevin is laughing. Ah ha ha ha. You do like to talk a lot, don't you? And Nicole's like, "Oh, Daddy. Daddy, don't embarrass me in front of my crush. He's gonna let me off with a warning, don't you know?" The trio, they're just all just hanging out, chilling, laughing together. Pass it over here. Okay, here you go. Pass it, pass it. No, 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 no. You're hogging it. Pass it. There we go. What? They just finished talking about bullshit, okay? Nichol just finished rambling about macros and nonsense. And now they're like, oh, let's all laugh about all the nonsense that you just told me. You didn't even answer the question, not even close. You didn't even try. But let's all just laugh. I can't stand it. Shelly, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. Shelly says, watch out, NK doesn't steal it. Watch out, NK doesn't steal it. Yeah, because she does. She's going to pawn it, man. Straight to the pawn shop she goes. She does say she pawns shit all the time and then corrects herself. I mean, did I say all the time? I meant occasionally. Sometimes. Yeah. Just when I need like some extra batteries or whatnot. Oh my goodness. Let's continue.
In her outline, claiming she gave Chris advice about opening up a second bank account where he could funnel his money and keep it away from Shanann. And it's almost as though she conveniently chose to omit any of the information that she discussed with Chris that could possibly implicate her in his plot to end the lives of his family.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, read between the lines.
Yep.
In the same way that Mackenzie Sharilla didn't magically lose her memory moments before she reached 100 miles per hour and ended the lives of two people, Nichol Kessinger didn't choose to omit this information because she forgot. I believe it was calculated, intentional, and anyone paying attention can see that.
You guys, 6 to 8 weeks, 2 months, whatever it was, you guys have an intimate relationship during that time.
Yes.
Okay. So you're pretty serious. Did he ever tell you that he loved you?
Yes, he did.
Did you?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Shelly, she'll swipe your 20 in a heartbeat. Yeah. Although, Nichol, if you are watching, consider subscribing. And if you haven't done so, consider becoming a member. Yeah, you get extra access to more videos about you. What if she was a member? What if Gloria Hoyle becomes a member? Glory hole. Glory hole, glory hole. Oh, glory hole. Her favorite color is brown as well. Let's continue.
Did you ever tell him the same?
A couple times.
Okay. Notwithstanding that today, because those thoughts may have changed for you, but on, let's go Sunday into Monday or Monday, did you still love him on those days?
I think it was something where it was like I said it a few times and I meant it, but he definitely felt the urge to say it to me a lot more than I.
I said it to him and I meant it. And I meant it. And then notice that she said, oh, I said it to him a couple times. Stephanie, thank you so much for the laughing disco. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh, look, it popped up. Sometimes these, the jewels don't pop up like they do with the super chats. So, yeah, I'm glad that I'm seeing it now. They'll pop up at the end of it. But yeah, if I do miss them, please, I'm sorry. I'll remember at the end, please. Yeah, glory hole, Nichol. That's funny. LA woman. Glory hole, Nichol. That's perfect. But oh my God, butthole Nichol. Glory hole. Glory hole should be hungry hole. Oh my God. You guys remember the hungry hippos? I just pictured a hungry Nichol, going after going after all the pills or whatever they're eating together. Oh my God. Oh man, you guys are so funny. Randy, thank you so much for the jewels. Oh, look at that. Yeah, they are popping up now. But they're weird. They pop up like in the middle. Here, let me just show you guys real quick. Look at this. So it popped up here, but then I don't see them, right? Like I don't see them here. Oh, look, they're right here. Now they are. Okay, great. Awesome. Okay. And they're popping up like in between here, but all right. Anyway, just wanted to show you guys. I'm not blind. I swear, or maybe I am. Um, thank you so much, V Dub. I see them. Yeah, going after all the married men. Thank you so much, Anita. Yeah, they're popping up now. That's so crazy. There it is. Sent makeup brush. Thank you so much, Lucky. Are you guys just sending these, or did they get sent out earlier and I'm just now seeing them? That's kind of weird because they're all just popping up randomly now. There's one here, there's one here. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. All right, let's continue.
I did to him because it was just all very new to me, and I was like, take your time with this. Like, you don't need to like rush that, you know? Like, I remember when he was in North Carolina and he was like trying to patch things up with his wife, and he told me he loved me, and I was like, don't say that to me. Like, please go try to fit. And I mean, and that might even be in the text too, where it's like, don't say those words to me and then go try to make peace with your wife and lay in bed with another woman.
To me, this is.
You know what I think actually happened here? You know what I think? I think that part of this is true, right? But it's the way that she tells it is not accurate. That's what I think. She's definitely telling the truth here. But I believe this is what actually happened, okay? Let me just recreate the scene for y'all, all right? Let me recreate the scene, okay? Chris knew that he had to go out to his family, right? By this point, Nichol is already head over heels in love, looking up wedding dresses and whatnot. So she's like, "Ugh, you're still gonna go to North Carolina for what? Aren't you going to end your marriage? You don't even have to go. Just end it already." What? You know what? No. If you're gonna go, and you're gonna go even though I already told you not to go, don't be telling me that you love me, okay? Don't be telling me that you love me if you're still gonna go to North Carolina to spend time with your wife and your children. You're gonna be gone for a whole week? Really? You're gonna leave me here by myself, and you're gonna spend all of the time between you and your kids and Shanann for an entire week. You're both gonna sleep in the same bed. Don't be telling me that you love me while you sleep in the same bed with your wife and your children. That's what I think happened. Maybe not as, but definitely more unhinged, way more unhinged than that. Maybe tears, maybe she's throwing shit, maybe she's throwing knives. Who knows? Who knows, right? Just my opinion. I don't know. But I think that that's actually what happened. But the way that she explains it, right? The way that she tells the story, it is true that she told him that. But she is making it sound like she's like, no. I told him, don't tell me that you love me. You need to go spend time with your wife. BS. Bullshit. I don't believe it, not for a second. I believe the first one a lot more. She wasn't having it. She wasn't having it at all. She's like, are you serious? After spending an entire month together, he still felt obligated. Okay, and this is the point that I'm making here, is that after spending an entire month with Nichol Kessinger, she was upset that he still felt obligated to do things with his family. He still felt this obligation to go to North Carolina, pretend that everything is fine and dandy, pretend that he still loves his family, that he's going to spend time with Shanann's family and his family. And that is what I think that Nichol didn't like, is that she wanted him to just end it. Just stop. You're with me already. Call her and tell her that you want a divorce. That's the kind of shit that I think Nichol was upset about. And so when it came to the actual lazy dog day, she's like, you need to prove to me that you're going to be with me one way or another. And I think that is what she ended up telling her daddy. She's like, you know what? I was just so scared that he was never going to be with me. I pressured him a little too much, and he ended up annihilating his family. But I didn't know. I didn't know he was going to do that. Anyway, that's just me. That was just my little recreation of what I think happened, and this is why I think that this is partially true. She's telling the truth. It's just not how it actually happened, though. Let's continue. I mean, what do you guys think? Actually, before we continue, what do you guys think? Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and check out the poll. 43%. Oh wow! So 43% of you think that Nicole actually told Daddy Dwayne that she's 100% innocent. Okay. Did he believe it? Probably not. I don't think he actually believed it, but hey, he was there for his daughter. 27% that he pressured him, and then the full truth. Wow, 21% believes that she actually told him the full truth. I don't see it. I mean, she's not the type of person that will tell the truth to anybody. I mean, she'll lie to Daddy Dwayne 100%. And that's just me though. But yeah, it's very interesting. Thank you so much for voting, guys. I like seeing where we're at as a group. Okay, yeah. So she's fully innocent and that she pressured him. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead. I'll leave up the poll for a little bit longer. All right, let's continue.
By far the most damning thing Nichol Kessinger said in this entire initial interview. Now let's start with the very first question that Agent Kobach asked her. On Monday, did you, Nicole, still love Chris Watts? She replies by saying, I said I love you a few times to him, and I meant it. But the question that I would want to know is, what was happening on Monday that Nicole felt the need to keep randomly telling Chris, a guy she's only been dating for 6 weeks, someone who she infers was nothing more than just some guy she was dating, but now she's telling him multiple times on the most consequential day surrounding this case that she loves him over and over? And then she claims that she told Chris to take his time, to not tell her that he loved her so much. Now, to no one's surprise, there is absolutely no evidence that she said any of these things to Chris. No text messages, no emails, nothing at all. But there is evidence that Nicole was, searching for wedding dresses.
I do want to pause this part just really, really quick because I just want you all to see this part here where the investigator returns the phone to Nicole, right? And Nicole gets it. And I think part of it, I've watched this video so many times. I think part of it, right? Nicole gets her phone back and she doesn't want to really give the impression that she's nervous about what they found on her phone. So she gets it. She looks at it real quick and then she sets it down. And then she grabs the phone and puts it in her purse, right? Now, to anybody that might just seem like, oh, whatever, she grabbed her phone, put it back in her purse. But I think in her brain, she's panicking because she looks at it, sets it down, and then I think that she wants to give everyone in the room the impression that she doesn't care that her phone was just taken from her, and then she puts it away. But I think that was just a subconscious thing that she did. Again, let me know if I'm, looking too much into this. I look into everything that she does, her and Chris, because I think that everything is a tell. But yeah, let me know if I'm just looking too much into this, but I just thought it was really weird. Let's go ahead and see it again.
To no one's surprise, there's absolutely no evidence that she said any of these things to Chris. No text messages, no emails, nothing at all. But there is evidence that Nicole was, searching for wedding dresses, Google search.
You see, because it's even the way that she does it too, right? It's like she's trying to make it seem like she's so cool about it. The same way that Chris acts, right? Chris was supposed to be acting worried that his family was gone, but instead he was acting way too calm and collected. And that's what Nicole was doing here. She grabs the phone, looks at it very quick. She's like, okay, I wonder what the hell they grabbed. I wonder what they grabbed. Puts it down. And then is like, oh shit, let me just put it away. Turns on the screen again and then just shoves it in there. She's like, I don't really care that you took my phone. Let me just shove it in here so you don't take it again. Again, you guys let me know what you think. Maybe I'm just over seeing something or overreacting, but yeah, let's continue.
Searching whether or not Chris would leave his wife to be with his mistress. Nicole was showing all the outward signs that she was equally obsessed with him as he was with her.
Yes.
And then she goes and brings up when Chris was in North Carolina. Now, we didn't go over that segment again because I have in the past in great detail, but here's the long and the short of it. Nichol Kessinger claims that she sent Chris to North Carolina to patch things up with his wife, Shanann. She told him to go fix his marriage and to work things out. Now,
Come on, really?
unfortunately, once again, we have the records that prove during this time that Chris is supposed to be fixing his marriage, Nichol is sending him lewd images.
Yeah.
She's calling him and speaking with him for hours at a time
Yeah.
when he's supposed to be with his family.
Yes, yes, yes. All of those things are true. Yes. I mean, we've watched these things over and over and over again, but it never gets old because we find lies constantly. All right, where is it? Just want to show you all very quickly the calls that he's referring to. Not that we haven't seen them already, but all right. All right, let's go ahead and see the calls. Look at that. How is anyone supposed to believe that Nichol Kessinger is telling Chris to work on his marriage when they're talking every single night? 68 minutes, 82 minutes, 14 minutes here, 42 minutes there. What else? Look at that. 89 minutes. I mean, they're talking on the phone constantly. And she's also sending him videos and photos of her and, "Oh, Chris, work on your marriage with your family, but also don't forget about me. Remember? You remember me in the brown bikini that you like so much?" Yeah, that's what she's doing. And she claims, "Oh, I was telling him to work on his marriage," while she's also Googling wedding dresses for how long did she Google it for? 4 hours straight? I mean, who Googles wedding dresses for that long? I don't know. Wedding dresses all kind of look the same to me. That's just me though. I'm like, they all look the same. I mean, some of them maybe have like a little cut at the shoulder or like the split back or maybe the split leg. But other than that, the wedding dresses, to me, they all look the same. All right. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like, I can't look at wedding dresses for that long. But she was. Let's continue.
So when she says this,
You know, like I remember when he was in North Carolina and he was like trying to patch things up with his wife and he told me he loved me and I was like, don't say that to me. Like, please go try to fit. And I mean, and that might even be in the text too, where it's like, don't say those words to me and then go try to make peace with your wife and lay in bed with another woman.
none.
Yeah, you see? Yeah. And then she says, it might be in the text messages. It might be. They might be in there. And the thing is, yeah, they might be in there, but the context is taken out of it, right? The thing is, they might see the text message where Nichol says, "Don't tell me that you love me while you're laying in bed with another woman." But what's the context? Was she bitching him out before that? Was she like, "Chris, you better not." Oh my God. What about all the text messages before that? The thing is that, yeah, I do believe that she texted him that, but what was the context? What was the emotion behind it? Was she angry at him? Or was she genuinely telling him, "Please work on your marriage, Chris"? Come on, no. It's not that. I don't believe it. Not at all. Let's continue.
Of that is anywhere in the text message between you and Chris, Nichol. But even if it was, here's what makes far more sense. That you told Chris not to tell you he loves you because you were green with jealousy.
Yeah.
That he was with Shanann, his wife, and his kids.
Yes.
So your claim that you had sent him to go fix his marriage, all while sending him nudes and calling him near constantly, it's not just illogical, it's totally nonsensical.
Yeah.
And absolutely everyone can see it.
Do
Yes.
friends know about him?
Nope.
Why?
Because it's like he's with two women right now. They don't
Okay.
need to know about
So if you
that.
had a boyfriend of 4 to 8 weeks on a
It's 'cause he's with two women right now. They don't need to know about this.
All fake. All fake. She's saying that she didn't tell her friends because, oh, it's because he's dating two women at the same time. The whole time she's saying, I didn't even know that he was still married, or maybe he was, but then he got separated. I didn't know. Everything fake, fake. Eric Issa, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go ahead and celebrate. Yeah, they won't touch their wives. Yeah, the way she talks, so strange. Yeah. It's because she's nervous. It's because she's lying. Let's continue.
Regular. I don't know if you were married prior or if you had a boyfriend before, but if you had a steady boyfriend, you would have let people know. I think you told me before we got started that you just told your dad about Chris.
No, I wouldn't
recently.
have told them. I wouldn't have told
Okay.
people. It's too early. I mean, people.
So you don't tell your friends, hey, I got
No,
a
because
boyfriend.
people come and go. I mean,
Okay.
the dating scene these days is like, it sucks.
Once
It was too soon. You know, it's just dating scene these days. Sucks.
You can't really find that many men that like to go south, just north. Never east or west either, just north. That's why she's saying the dating scene is so hard. Oh my God. Everyone that I date either has children or they always put me last. And she's saying, people just come and go. That's why I didn't tell my family about him. She was so obsessed with the man and she didn't tell anyone about him. Come on. Let's continue.
again, Nichol has just lied to law enforcement. We know for a fact that Nichol did tell her friends about Chris.
Yeah.
Jim knew about Chris. Charlotte knew about Chris.
Yeah.
In fact, she told Charlotte to delete everything they had discussed about him off of her phone.
Yes.
So what we heard Nichol say, all of it could have been a charge just for lying to law enforcement. And I have to believe that someday there will be someone who steps into the role of the Weld County DA who cares more about what's right than what's beneficial to their career. And that's why when the time comes for my colleague to go public with his campaign for the future position of the Weld County DA, I will do everything I can to make that a reality. Because the truth in this case still matters.
Yep.
Even if some people categorically refuse to see it.
But this
Yep.
one, you were
Yep.
a little bit more. You said he's with two women. Was that one of your considerations for not telling anybody about him?
Yes, well, I mean, it was like, okay, like this. To me, it wasn't going to be an extended thing. Like, if it got to the point where we were like dating for like 3 or 4 months and he's still talking about, oh, I'm going to move out, I'm going to sell the house, I think at that point I probably would have just been like, I don't think you're really like doing these things you say you're going to do.
So she gave him 3 or 4 months to figure it out. Yeah, notice what she said here, because that stood out to me as well when I was making this series. Let's go ahead and pull up the calendar real quick. It just really stood out to me, the things that she just said. Because, again, right? She's saying, oh, you know, this, that, and the other thing. Here, let's go ahead and rewind it again. Just listen.
Considerations for not telling anybody about him?
Yes, well, I mean, it was like, okay, like this. To me, it wasn't going to be an extended thing. Like, if it got to the point where we were like dating for like 3 or 4 months and he's still talking about, oh, I'm going to move out, I'm going to sell the house, I think at that point I probably would have just been like, I don't think you're really like doing these things you say.
Okay. So they met, supposedly, in June. They started talking around maybe the first week of June. So June is 1 month. July is another month. August is month 3. So it sounds like Nichol just didn't like to wait. She wanted reassurance. She wanted to know that if Chris was serious about her, that he was going to leave his family as soon as possible. So what she's saying here is like, oh, you know, I just didn't want to really wait that long. If he went on for another 3 or 4 months saying, yeah, I'm going to divorce my family, then I would have been like, never mind. However, I don't believe that. I do believe that Nichol was not going to wait half a year to be with Chris, but it's because she wanted to be with him as soon as possible. Exactly, Shelley. Leakage. This is all leakage coming from Nicole's mouth. All of it is her telling the truth here. She's really telling Kevin that she was not going to wait. And so the interesting thing about this whole interview is that she does tell the truth, right? But it's intertwined with so many lies that it's hard to pinpoint what is the truth and what is not. But regardless, all of it points to Nicole being the culprit. It still points to her being the person who pressured him to do it. It doesn't matter what she continues to say because all of it sounds like she pressured him. From telling him to read books about divorce and how it's better for the girls to have 2 Christmases. I mean, that sounds like she's pushing for the divorce, not for him to stay together. This as well, it's the same thing. She's saying, I was not going to wait that long for him. So that's why she pressured him to murder his family within 3 months. 2, actually, if we're counting real time, within 2 months. That's it. She couldn't wait longer than that. That's crazy. And so, yeah, I don't believe that she was okay with Chris leaving for an entire week after she had already expected him to leave his family. Anyway, what do you guys think? Oh my goodness. Yeah, why did they not retrieve the messages? Absolutely, because dating sucks. Yeah, she said that so many times. Yeah. All right, let's continue.
Say you're gonna do, and I probably would have just like left because at that point it's not fair. It wasn't fair to me in the first place. It wasn't fair to her in the first place. It wasn't fair to any of us in the first place. You know, it wasn't fair to his family.
This part too, right? She says, yeah, if I'm not going to be waiting that long, I think if I waited a little bit longer than the 3 months, I would have just left. Doesn't that sound like a threat? It sounds like a threat to me. It sounds like she was telling Chris, like, hey, I'm not going to wait around that long. You need to figure it out. If you're going to be with me, you're going to be with me now. And if you're going to leave your family, you're going to leave them now. But I'm not going to wait. Okay. And so, of course, what is Chris thinking, right? The potato head, the idiot, the guy with only 2 brain cells, the dumbass. He's like, oh my God, okay, I don't know what to do. He's such a coward that even if Nicole, let's just go ahead and play devil's advocate for a second. Let's just say Nicole didn't tell him to kill his family, didn't plan it with him. Let's just say that she, at the bare minimum, pressured him. She is still culpable. She is still responsible for the pressures that she put on him to leave his family. Again, Chris Watts is an adult. Yes, we all know that. He's an idiot. But still, she is culpable. She's still at fault here. Completely. Anyway, let's continue. Oh, thank you so much. Saldana, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Welcome to Gold. Welcome to members. Welcome to Gold. Let's celebrate. Yeah, welcome to members. And then I saw earlier, didn't somebody get some memberships? Was it VDub? Sorry if I missed it. I'll go back at the end of it. All right, let's continue.
For him to have an affair. It wasn't fair to me to have him lie to me and make me think that everything is going to plan. And
It wasn't fair to lie to me and make me think that everything was going to plan.
Yeah.
What plan exactly, Nicole? What plan are you even talking about right now? Because you certainly haven't divulged any such plan so far in anything that you've said. In fact, you've completely downplayed the seriousness of your relationship with Chris. You remember the guy you claim you were only with for like 45 days? But the questions that Nicole is being asked are really starting to make her feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you can tell she's uncomfortable simply by the inflection in her voice.
Yep.
And she's about to pivot and take all of the scrutiny that may have been aimed in her general direction and completely stop it in its tracks. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the Academy with the nominee for Best Actress, Nichol Kessinger's performance in The Mistress.
you know,
Everybody give Nichol Kessinger a standing ovation. Yay! At the Oscars, she's about to win the Oscar nomination, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't watched this episode of mine, she wins it. She wins it numerous times. She's definitely the best actress I've ever seen. 100%. A lie, of course. Let's go ahead and see it. Sarcasm.
That wasn't fair to me either, because if I'd have known not even all the truth, but like obviously some of it, I wouldn't have even engaged in any of this in the first place. And it just, I mean, and that's the part for me, just like on my personal level, outside of everything that is happening, that is gonna affect me long term. It's like, you know, I'm gonna wake up every day and know that like this mom and her unborn child and these two little girls are not around anymore, and it breaks my heart. It is, oh my god. And then I have to think about like the consequences of his actions and how they affect everybody else. Like all of these, her family's impacted. My name is about to be like slandered for probably a while. I don't know how long it's going to take to heal, but I would not be surprised if it's going to be hard to go out in public sometimes for a couple of years. And that really hurts me. I'm just like, this is a horrible, horrible thing. Like, how dare you, you know? And people aren't going to understand that. You know, they're going to say, oh, you know, you're the woman that had an affair with this man who took out his whole family. And I take a step back and it's just like, I didn't know. Like, he's so disgusting. I'm so ashamed of him and everything. And I just, oh, those little girls. They're so little. They're so little.
Sometimes it is incredibly difficult for me to know
I think it's depressing that I know what she's saying verbatim. Isn't it? Oh. I've watched this so many times. I know exactly what she's going to say next and how she's going to do it. And I'm just so ashamed of him and me and just everything. And everybody, did you get your tissue? Oh, the waterworks, I'm telling you. I don't know why she hasn't been casted for The Notebook. She should have been casted for The Notebook. I think she would have done a way better job than Rachel McAdams. Rachel McAdams, I didn't even cry. I will tell you, when I watched that movie, I'm like, I can tell I'm watching an actress. Nichol Kessinger would have been a way better, what's her name? Sally? Or, no, it's not Sally. Allie, is that her name? She would have been a way better Rachel McAdams character. Oh, God. Oh, my God. What was that? She took us a roller coaster ride. Angela, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Love it. Oh, man. Did you guys know this is the second performance? Yeah, she did the same thing on the other recorded call in the park interview. 100%. I do like that we can actually see her face here, though. She's like, Rotten Tomatoes. 1,000% Rotten Tomatoes. Terrible, terrible, terrible acting. Let's continue.
everything I know about this case and watch this moment. Mainly because I am a deeply empathetic person and I care about the victims of every case. But I believe that the evidence shows that at the very least, Nichol Kessinger knew what Chris Watts did the morning of August 13th, 2018.
Yeah, she did.
I believe the evidence supports that Nichol likely showed up to Chris's house to either help him get rid of evidence or to scrub his house and then communicate with him through WhatsApp to stage what would be her ultimate performance in front of law enforcement.
Yep.
The performance we are watching right now.
Yep.
And the clues that point to her complicity have been observed by literally hundreds of current and former law enforcement officers, many of whom have commented, emailed, and contacted me directly to affirm that they also believe that Nichol Kessinger was likely involved.
Yep.
Even during this teary outburst
Bye,
where
Tootsie.
she's seemingly deeply concerned about the price Shanann, Bella, Cece, and Nico paid because of her, she still takes the selfish opportunity to lament how this case is going to affect her life. The life she still gets to have,
Yeah.
despite knowing exactly what she did and how far she was willing to go to hide it. Ask yourself, why would Nichol be so concerned about what the public was going to think about her unless she believed that the public would likely sniff out her lies? Amber Frey didn't hesitate to contact law enforcement
Nope.
to show them all of the saved and preserved evidence she had on her phone and in her possession because she had nothing to hide.
That's why I always bring up Amber Frey, always, because it's the closest case that we have where a mistress was actually lied to. And then we can compare what Amber Frey did to what Nichol Kessinger did. Very, very opposite. Opposite, completely different. The way that they both went about it.
And that's precisely why the public showered Amber Frey with praise and admiration for standing up to Scott Peterson's monstrous lie that he wasn't involved in the crime that claimed Laci Peterson's life. Nichol is crying because she knows her life is over.
Yep.
Somewhere deep down, she knows that the public will see all of the things that law enforcement missed and that she will never escape what she did.
I don't think she was expecting my channel, though. I don't think she was expecting my channel. I think she definitely expected the scrutiny, right, to be scrutinized in that way, and the criticism. I don't think she ever expected to see herself with bulging eyes, spinning eyeballs, and all kinds of little things here and there. Let's continue.
She knew, and the lengths she went to hide it all. And in the next episode, we are going to finish this first interview and reveal the additional evidence that I believe shows that law enforcement knew that Nichol Kessinger likely had criminal culpability in this case, choosing instead to protect and shield her from the criminal action that they knew she would not be able to walk away from, giving Nichol her freedom, even though they had reason to believe that she was the cause of why a wife and her children were now gone.
Yep.
I want to share with you a story that
Ooh.
I believe is deeply relevant to where we are at this moment in time in this case. Many years ago, I received a call from a potential client who was desperate to find local representation for their case. It was a very specific litigation that virtually no one handled. In fact, they had called every law firm in 3 different states and no one was willing to help them. This man was living in a studio apartment, barely scraping by financially, and he was about to give up because he had nowhere else to turn. I knew almost immediately that when I took his case to the managing partner of our firm, that there would be nothing we would be able to do to help him. You see, the decision to accept or deny cases was completely outside of my purview. And just as I thought, the managing attorney declined it. I remember walking back to my desk feeling so defeated, knowing how badly this person needed help and wondering how I was going to communicate this bad news to someone who was already barely hanging on. But that was when I decided that I would do something I knew that I wasn't supposed to do.
Uh-oh.
I gave him my phone number, and later that day, I offered to help him for free. Most of what he needed didn't require a law firm, just someone capable of helping him complete his legal paperwork and explain generally what the questions meant. What started as paperwork on a Saturday afternoon would develop into a friendship that would last for over 15 years.
Oh, wow.
For a long time after, it seemed as though nothing would ever come of the case. Sometimes he would call me out of the blue and ask me, should I just give up? Is there really any point in continuing with this? And to be honest, there were times where it seemed hopeless.
Yeah.
Days turned to months, months into years,
Yep.
and nothing seemed to change. After 7 years, it started to feel like maybe it was time to just give up. I almost told him to just not bother anymore, to forget whatever hope he had left, that things would somehow work out. One of the last times he called me, I nearly blurted out that it might be another 10 or 20 years before something happened,
Oof.
and that even then it was possible that the company who he was legally pursuing might just go bankrupt anyway. But I stopped myself. I just couldn't do it. So I told him, once again, to just hang on a little longer. 6 weeks later, exactly, I got the call. I answered the phone and I could barely understand what he was saying, but then I heard the words global settlement and a huge 6-figure offer.
Nice.
A case that no one believed in, that no one thought had any value at all. It
Nice.
was finally over, and a man who had started off as a stranger, a man who was now my friend, would finally be able to retire and live his life. And I tell you this
Nice.
story for the same reason
Nice.
that I hold on to hope
Yep.
that someday the truth will come out concerning the Watts case, that our persistence will pay off, and that justice will have its day.
Yep.
And if that experience taught me anything, it taught me this. What you do when no one else is looking, that is what matters most.
Yep.
Even if there's nothing in it for you and the price is higher than you were expecting to pay, there is one thing that I believe will always be true. We are here to advocate for those who cannot
can't.
advocate for themselves.
Yep. The
And
voiceless.
to remember why this case will always mean so much to all of us. And even though it may still be a long ways away, hold on, because justice is coming.
Yeah.
Just you wait and see.
Ooh. Wow, that last story, again, we need to hear that. It's very motivating, especially for the people who keep asking, why are you still talking about this case? This is why. This is why. Because there wasn't full justice. We are talking about victims here that don't have a voice anymore. We're talking about a woman who was clearly more involved than she said she was, who is free. She's free. That is why we're talking about this to this day. But yeah, I'm very glad that he told this story because, again, it's very motivating and it does tell us that, as hard as it is, if we keep pushing and we have patience, even though it's hard sometimes, but if we keep pushing, if we keep talking about this case and we don't ever let it die, I think eventually we will get to the truth. And so that is the best that we can hope for. Yeah, what do we think? Let's go ahead and check out the poll here. 144 votes. Wow. We got that Nichol Kessinger told her dad that she's fully innocent, 43%. Okay. And then the second one is that she pressured him, but she didn't know that he was going to kill his family. Nice. Thank you guys so much for the votes. All right. So we do think that she told him that she's 100% innocent. Wow. She does lie a lot. So, who knows? She probably did say, yeah, I didn't do anything, Daddy. Believe me. The time that I stabbed that guy, it's because he just got me so angry. Just don't get me angry. I won't stab anybody. It was his fault. And of course, Daddy Kessinger's probably like, okay, I got you, daughter. Oh, my goodness. But anyway, yeah, we'll always be here until justice is served. Exactly. Exactly, guys. Thank you guys so much. That is all we have for today. Thank you guys so much for joining today's live stream. Thank you to my members for voting for this video. So many of you recommended this video, and of course we had to watch it. It is Behind Criminal Minds, and it's of course about Nichol Kessinger and the new DA. And as you know, I have also embarked on my own project for the Nichol Kessinger documentary, and it's basically the same thing, right? We are looking to paint the story. So for the documentary, it's looking like the entire story is going to be told throughout the summer from June, July, and August, how that relationship flourished, how this ended up happening, but most importantly, how is it that with all of the evidence that we have on Nichol Kessinger, the district attorney still decided not to press charges, to possibly give her a DPA, and to give Chris Watts a plea deal. So that is what the documentary focus will be on. It will be on Nichol Kessinger, the evidence, and why she was never brought forward, why charges or a full investigation wasn't conducted. It's really to put the pressure on the criminal justice system. Not only that, but also to let people know and fully have people who are still on the fence understand why it is that the public can't let this case go. It's not like any other cases. This case very clearly shows that something was going on with the criminal justice system, with the DA, with how the investigation went, happened. And so, yeah. So all of this is going to be told in story form so that we can actually see how it played out and be able to understand it more. And yeah, and be able to explain what potentially happened here in a better way that we can all remember. But anyway, yeah, thank you guys so much. Yes, for those of you asking, yes, Patreon is live now. Yes, Patreon is live and it is it is at the top of the channel description, so go ahead and check it out. And I also made a post about it. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and support the documentary, go ahead and check out Patreon. You will get access to behind the scenes footage, to the entire documentary making process. There's different tiers, and yeah, if you want to be part of it, if you want to be part of the investigation and the production process, go ahead and check out Patreon. And I really appreciate your guys' support. Thank you guys so much. Again, none of this could have been possible without you guys. So thank you so much. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you to my members. Very special thanks to my moderators. Thank you guys so much for moderating. You guys are awesome. Thank you to my subscribers. And yeah, if this is your first time on my channel and you like this live stream, please go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and share. Yes, thank you guys so much. And yeah, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, right. And before I go, the schedule did change. I did see a few questions about if it's at 11 or 12. From now on, because the documentary is, the production has already started. From now on, we're going to have all of our live streams are going to be at noon. And then we're going to have a video on Wednesday. And if I can, I'll try to push out a video on Saturday as well. But yeah, right now the schedule is looking like, every day except for Saturday, you're going to have content from me. And then in the meantime, throughout the entire year, I'm going to be working on the documentary as well. And the timeline for the documentary is about a year. I'm giving myself a year, maybe longer, really depends, because I'm also going to be doing interviews. I'm going to be on location, driving around, putting together the timeline, testing the timeline. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of hard work and it's going to take a long time. So for those of you who are asking, about a year. So the plan is to have it out by August of 2027, around the anniversary of the crime, and also around the time that we're starting to see more campaigning for district attorney. So I'm trying to make it so that it kind of coincides, so that it's a big documentary, and it's going to be for everybody, right? So it's going to be a public documentary. It's going to be on YouTube for everybody to watch. But yeah, but if you do want to be part of the process, go ahead and check out Patreon. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Yeah, thank you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll put up a poll for the next live stream that we want to watch tomorrow. But yeah, take care. Love you guys. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of the super chats. If you guys want to hang out with me just a little bit longer, I'm going to check out the super chats. I want to make sure that everybody gets acknowledged here. Yeah, you see? You see how the other ones didn't pop up? See? It's not me. It's not me. All right, look at this. So Stephanie, thank you so much for the jewels. Only one of them popped up. Erikisa, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, see, the other ones are not popping up. So then I think I need to go to here and scroll all the way up. All the way up. Boom, 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 all the way up. All right. Stephanie, Randy, V-Dub, Anita, Lucky, and V-Dub again. And Stephanie, thank you so, so much for the jewels. Sorry if I missed them last time. And thank you, everybody, for the super chats. All right, guys, this time for real. All right, see you guys later. Bye. Take care.